Hi, I'm Jeremy, and these are extraordinary times. For those of you who may not know, this is a show where me and usually another guy sitting right over here-ish, talk about the day and stuff. So he's on vacation. This is me. What's up? First story I want to cover today is a story we talked about a few weeks ago when the first trailer for Skyfall, the next 007 movie, came out. Apparently, somebody was nitpicking about the new Aston Martin in the movie, and they saw it, and they were like, oh, it looks a lot like the one from ye old days of Sean Connery. And, oh, wait, what's that license plate? It's the same? Oh. So, for me, that's a little geek out, where basically Daniel Craig is tributing the original classical Sean Connery 007. It makes me happy right here, to be honest. And considering how much Taco Bell I've eaten in the last week, I'm probably contractually obligated to them now to talk about the 100 million Dorito Loco tacos that they have been selling in the last 10 weeks. I mean, that may sound like, a small number. They sell a lot of tacos, but 10 weeks, that's like 2.5 months. They sold way more than anyone ever really anticipated. And now they're going to be coming out with like Cool Ranch flavored shells and maybe a hot and spicy shell. I hope they use a fiery habanero flavor. That's warms me right there in the heart muscle, or maybe the stomach muscle. Is it a muscle? Maybe. But on to some news that actually kind of tickled my irony bone a little bit. Miley Cyrus, who I normally don't really care that much about except when she's super, super hot, because she is sometimes. She just got engaged, actually, now off the market, sorry guys, to Liam Hemsworth. And if Hemsworth sounds familiar, it's because we talked ad nauseum about the Avengers, who Liam's brother Chris played Thor, for those of you who don't know. Well, I thought about it, and I'm like, well, she's marrying the brother of Thor. Wait, the brother of Thor is Loki. Wait, Miley Cyrus is marrying Loki. But I don't really care about that. So we're going to move on to Wisconsin, where they just had a governor election, gubernatorial, I think is the technical term, which normally doesn't sound that exciting, but this was a recall election where they were trying, well, they being the Democratic Party, were trying to kick out current Republican Governor Scott Walker because they disagree with him a little bit. So apparently he's trying to balance the budget and lower pensions a little bit so that people actually can, get the bills paid in government, which is really, really hard concept for a lot of the Democrats. But they tried to race him against his last running opponent, Tom Barrett, who is the current Democratic mayor of Milwaukee. And so they ran off like they do in elections, and they had really, really enormous turnout, huge voter lines and everything. And then the results came in, and like 4 or 5 counties actually had positive results for Tom Barrett. Every other county in Wisconsin voted for the current governor and still governor, Scott Walker. Now, that doesn't sound like a big deal, except he beat the challenger by more votes and with more votes than he did the first time. Apparently, the people actually really like him. The Democrats are attacking him. So, that's all fine and good, politics and whatever, but now angry liberal people have taken to Twitter with a new catchphrase, "Kill Scott Walker." For those of you who don't know, threatening the life of a government official is actually kind of felonious. If you don't know what felonious means, you need a dictionary, because it means you're committing a felony. Speaking of things that should be felonies, our president is off in beautiful California, where, you know, normally him having 4 fundraisers one day wouldn't even, like, tick on my radar, except today, 68 years ago, a bunch of very, 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 very brave men from all manner of countries allied against the Nazis landed on a little beach in France called Normandy. Well, several beaches, anyways, and exercised one of the largest military offensives ever commenced, especially between several countries all cooperating. My grandfather being one of the men that jumped into that fight. He jumped out of a perfectly good airplane into some very, very violent airspace and survived. He had 500 guys in his, I think, platoon or you know, that group, and 50 of them, including himself, survived. That is how dismal that day was, just among the people that he knew. So, for our current president to have not only this year, but the year before and the year before not commemorated today, it offends me very, very deeply. I don't get this kind of serious very often, but I take offense to this particular kind of thing. It's not funny to me at all. I hope that our next president actually respects today. And for our last story, because, well, I saved the macabre for last, Ray Bradbury, a very, very, very influential author from the last 100 years or so, just died yesterday at 91 years old at his home in California. It hit me because I write, for those of you who don't know, I write, and I was influenced a lot by Fahrenheit 451, especially. That was one of the few books where I actually read all the way through, paid attention to every word, every detail of that book when I read it in high school. It struck me so hard that he looked into the future from back then and saw how we are so afraid of being informed, so afraid of truth and things that might make us a little bit uncomfortable. We want to be deeply entertained. We want to be distracted all the times by our seashells and what have you. And it amazes me that he was able to see so much of reality and talk about reality without, you know, making it preachy. He just, you know, just little bits here and little bits there as he told a story that so honest and just well written. I'm really sad that he's gone, honestly. I hope someone worth even part of his salt takes his place very soon in our current generation. Thank you so much for tuning in today. It's just a hard day today, but it will get better. As always, I'm Jeremy. These are extraordinary times. If you want us to get better, start clicking this like button and this favorite button. And if you haven't yet, click that subscribe button, because it really, really does help. All of the above. Below. Something. Help. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow. Be aware.